In this video, we demonstrate to you how you can use HealthServe to manage your medical lab investigation from start to finish. So your staff who you must have enrolled in your lab account, to start with, let's look at how you create your lab account. To create your lab account, you visit healthserve.org as written here. Then when you arrive at HealthServe, go to register. Then it will give you this drop down. Click on institution registration, and a form for institution registration will be open. Fill this form to get your institution registered on the platform. Once you have registered your institution, then proceed to log into your institutional account. Once you log into your institutional account, you onboard your staff that will work in your institution. So assuming this is what I want to do now, that is the institution ID. I log into my account. You can use the email you also use in signing up to log in. So here you can enroll your staff. There are two options to do this. Either they create the account and give you the ID, or the alternative option, which is for you to create the account for them yourself, and then you use register new staff to open a form for you to create an account for each staff. Then once this is done, you now give them access to operate in different departments or areas in your institution. Like for instance, if you want someone to work in the lab department in the area of running tests, processing results, you give the person access with this option. So this will all have access. This person have closed the access to this system, so you can open it anytime you want. The sending ultrasound, you give them access. X-ray, you give them access. Suppose you want to work here, you must not give everybody access. Those that have need to operate in the X-ray investigation that you give access. But in the next login, you will see how this access becomes important. So also there are provision for you to set prices for various services you provide, like X-ray, lab tests, ultrasound, and even other services. Inside other services, you may have things like registration, sets of pint of blood, and even surgical operation in the case of hospital. Then the next thing is the test reference. Every lab test has a reference, and each test has a reference value. But if the reference value we have inbuilt into the system is not in sync with the machine you're using, you can change the reference value to your own machine reference value. That is what you do here. So you can add reference value from here. Alright, so at this point I'm going to log into the staff account. Let's see how you use this to run a lab test, because lab test is our focus for in this demonstration. So I'm logging out from this lab account to log into medical lab scientist account for us to see how to use this to run a test. Alright, so I am about to log in, just waiting for the system to open. Alright, so I'm good to go. So I'm logging into the staff account, and that is the account here. And then I'm logging into this lab. That's the lab I'm going into. Okay. Let me confirm. Yeah, I'm in the right account. Okay. So once a staff log in this way, what the person needs to do is to click on attend to patient for every patient that is attending to. But if you have a new patient who is coming for the very first time and it doesn't have any e-folder in your lab or hospital, click on add patient. They'll click on add patient. So what this add patient means that you are going to create an e-folder for that patient in your lab or your hospital, so that whatever you're doing for them, you can file it properly in chronological order in their e-folder. So that is what this is all about. So when you click on add patient, it's going to open this form. Simply fill this form as complete as possible, and then click on add patient, and then you are good to go. So once you have succeeded in adding patient to the system, you can now proceed to attend to patient. All right, so once this is done, you can now attend to patient by clicking attend to patient. Okay, so this is attend to patient. Attend to patient, you can use their phone number to call up their file from the system. You can also use their patient ID. So let me use patient ID of demo account I have with me. So I enter the demo account P801661. Even though you have this user ID, you can't use it because you don't know the default password that controls it. So that's why the system is secure. You can't just get somebody's patient ID or phone number and retrieve the patient's folder because you don't know the default password, and that is the essence of what we call default password. So it's only when you have logged in an institution that you can have access to a patient folder where the patient has already approved or you have already established relationship with the patient before now. So now I'm in the patient folder. I click on create new record. I'm in. So I go to medical investigation. Remember, my focus on this demo is medical lab investigation. So I click on lab, and then I go to hematology. I select the test I want to run under hematology. Maybe I want to do bleeding time, prothrombin time, blood group, genotype. As you can see, as I'm making this selection, system is summing up the total amount of what it will cost to run this test. So let me go to chemistry test. So I go to chemistry test, and then I will select some tests on this section: total bilirubin, lactate dehydrogenase amylase, total acid phosphatase. All right, then I move on to another test. So you can see there are many various test groups. They are organized in groups. Let's see. This is clinical chemistry. The other was chemistry. This is clinical chemistry. They're a little bit different between them. So you can see under clinical chemistry what we have here. We have a magnesium. We have phosphorus. We have sodium creatinine, and then we have calcium here. So assume this is all the tests we want to do. But as you can see, there's no price added here. Let me add price to them. You can, if it doesn't have price, you can actually add price at the point of requisition, as I'm doing now. So that is done. So as I'm adding the prices here, system is picking the price to calculate the sum of these tests. So as you can see, we have 8,000 here because of the tests I have selected. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is 5,000. So that's how we arrive at 8,000 for this test. So I selected all the tests I want to run at various test group. So now let me go ahead and save it, and let's see how we proceed from here. So I save the test. I go to billing. Anybody can bill as long as you have authorization in your facility. So this is lab test, and the total cost of the test I've selected is 10,800. So for those that have affiliate partner that are making referral, assuming any of these affiliate partner, let's say it's a co-hospital that made referral to for this patient that brought the patient to your lab, so you click on add commission. Then next you add this to billing. So this patient is paying out of pocket, doesn't have any health insurance, so you click add item. That is done. So we have done with this. So it has added to bill. So you save the bill. All right, done. Then we go to now. Anybody can do this. Those that are in the account can now take it over from there. So in the account, you can see the bill generated for this person. Lab test, that is the service. He has not paid. The total amount is 10,000, and he has not paid anything out of that. So let's go ahead and clear this payment. So you clear the payment at once. Cash. He paying cash. Okay, you say okay. The bill is paid. So invoice, to print invoice for the patient so that they can give them their invoice. So Thermal invoice printout for 10,800. So you print the invoice using Thermal printer, right? So and then you got to use a receipt printer to print that. That's receipt printer. So that's the invoice. So system will print it out for you once it's installed. So now let's go to the grand finale. That is to generate the lab results. All right. So you go to medical investigation report. This is where the essence of giving some staff access to medical investigation. If you don't have access to this, if you're not given access, you will not see this menu in your sidebar. So that's the test requested for. 10,800. So let's finish the test and generate a report. So that's the time at which I'm running this test. The date selected when I collected the specimen. When am I releasing this result? When I'm releasing it, I put the time. But assuming I'm releasing it now, so let me do that. And of course, mind you, if you make a rule that nobody runs a test unless it is paid, so that works for you, and we can use a code to control that for you so that nobody can run a test without the test being paid for in full. All right. So you say genotype AA, blood group A positive, then protein time 10 seconds, sorry. Then bleeding time 6 minutes. Right, let's move on. So if you want to make any analysis under this group of tests, that is under hematology, you can analyze it under that summary. Chemistry test, we'll have 0.5 for total bilirubin. Here we have 50 units per liter. Lactose dehydrogenase, we have 160 units per liter. Then total acid phosphatase, we'll have 0.5. We are done with this section. Lastly, the clinical chemistry test. So magnesium, we have 1.7. Then serum creatinine, we have 1.3. Then phosphorus, we have 1.0. And then calcium, we have 5. Okay, let's make it 9.0. Okay, we are done with all the tests. So who run this test is this person. Who approved the test? Who is the authority that approved the test? Let's assume is this person that approved. Okay, so all you do to do now to generate the final result is to click on save. Once the test is saved, click OK. Generate report. That's the final result. Generate results, and that's the result coming up here. But I have to use a A4 printer, so let me get the A4 printer, or generate as PDF so you can send to the patient. So I'm looking for my A4 printer. That's my A4 printer. So that is the final result. As you can see the final result here. And then like I said, you can generate as a PDF, save as PDF. You can see this is a PDF version, and you can save it in your system by giving it the patient name. So you can now go ahead and save this in your document, from where you can now send it to the patient. So let me create a new file. Lab test results. Okay, so inside this lab test, I open it, and then I will give it the patient name Umoru Smith. Okay, so I save. So from here, you can now send this test to the patient. But take a look at the test. You can see how well organized it is, and it has digital signature, which you can build into your lab test. And then it has this QR code, which can help you to digitally verify the authenticity of the content in this result. So this is what HealthServe can do for you when you use it in your lab operation. Thank you for watching, and you can call us on 08034891157. We help you to implement this in your lab in a matter of hours. Thank you.